Debate resurfaces after anti-abortion sign defaced.
Live from our Maritimes News Center, this is CTV News at 6. Here is Amanda Devison.
Damage to a controversial sign in Eastern Passage, Nova Scotia, seems to have fired up an old debate. The anti-abortion sign at a busy intersection was targeted with spray paint overnight, a rare act of vandalism that was actually applauded by some who found the message offensive to begin with. Others say the paint was an attack on free speech and their religious beliefs. CTV's Bruce Frisco has more.
As the morning rush began in Eastern Passage, alert drivers may have noticed some mixed messages coming from a local landmark of sorts.
Well, I think it's kind of disgraceful that somebody would deface somebody else's property.
Yet there it was, the long-standing anti-abortion sign, now altered to send a much different message, complete with coat hangers. Although it's been targeted before, none of this sits well with the man who owns the land.
They're coming in on private property, and if we can ever catch who they are, I'll take them to court.
I was totally shocked when I heard it this morning.
Meeting in Truro, the executive of the Knights of Columbus, the Catholic men's group who erected the sign a quarter century ago, say they are starting to feel singled out.
I'm very distraught over it because of the other things that happened in the HRM, the desecration to the churches and the cemetery.
By early afternoon, cleanup of the site was well underway. The local MLA, who's unabashedly pro-choice, also finds herself in the awkward situation of standing up for free speech and property rights.
I can say that I defend the rights of women, but I also defend the rights of somebody to have a sign on their lawn that might be offensive to somebody else.
And even as the cleanup continued, debate broke out on the sidewalk.
Perhaps it doesn't need to be quite as visible on the four-way stop.
But it's legally their right to have it there.
But I mean, it was another religion or anything like that, it wouldn't bother me. That's their religion. I think it's great.
The last of the paint was gone by mid-afternoon, a relatively quick cleanup and a completely different message from the one that greeted drivers for the morning rush, a local landmark that can still spark controversy all these years later. Bruce Frisco, CTV News, Eastern Passage, Nova Scotia.